Okay, hello everyone. So I'm going to talk about the command for DC. So this is about DC, normally defined, is also known as defined constant, normally used to store a constant in a memory. Okay, so actually, the constants are declared by the directive DC. This is a directive, which is a defined constant, and the size can be either way byte, like byte, the words and long word, depending on the storage space in the memory that's going to be used. Okay, so its syntax is like this: define constant dot size, and you can put the value here, something like that. For example, $, BB, something like that. So what happened after this command? The constant will be stored in the locations of the memory, depends on where do you declare your memory. So let's look at the program that normally that we use in Easy68K. So by default, normally in our software, we always save this particular locations starts at 1000 for our program, which means that we can write our program over here. So for example, now I want to save or declare a constant in somewhere else. So remember that your memory location start from $0000000 to $FFF. So at $1000 location, this is where you save your program. So I want to put a constant somewhere at maybe around 2000 area. So let's say, for example, from your 2000 area, you want to put a value over there. So let's try to do one example here. So you need to declare where is your location first. So for example here, origin $2000. So I'm saying that at this location, I want to store something. So now I'm going to define constant dot byte, just directly what is the value without hash. Okay, there's no hash here. Like move.l, we have to use hash before as a data, but as using the define constant command, you just straightforward use $sign as for the hex number. Let's try to look at the results here. So let's try AA, and then we compile this one, got issues or not. So no issues, right? So you can just execute it and directly go to the view memory locations at 2000. Okay, you can see that the value here is AA, which is by default you already have the constant stored in the memory locations at 2000. Okay, let's move on. You want to start further. Let's try another one. Define constant dot byte, maybe just a number like 16. So is there problems or not because you do not put $sign over here? Still no problem, right? So just execute it, then view again, look at the memory there, and then go for the 2000 area locations. It should be telling us AA10. So why 10 is not 16? It's because that 16 is in decimal. So 16 in decimal is equivalent to is equivalent to 10 hexa. So without $sign, the system compile it as a hexa number, so it will convert it directly from this number to that one. So you can try change this one to W. Let's look at the result here, W and W. Okay, I just want to remove this one first. Okay, let's run this one, execute it, and go directly to the locations of the memory, 2000 location. And you can see that instead of AA just now, now we have this word size. So the word size for AA is basically is like this one. Word size for AA is equivalent to 00 AA. Okay, so that's why we have this one start from 800 and then the next location of the address is AA. Okay, so if you want to put full, then you put words here like BBAA. Let's try to look at the results. What's this one? Run again. Execute this one. Then you can run. No need to run because it's already before run your program is already there. So it's BBAA. Okay, so this is BBAA. All right. Let's try longword. This one we remove this one longword. You just run this one. Execute it. So look at the memory location, and you can see that it's a long word already. So actually it's a whole 32-bit and save up to the 4 locations at your memory, but starts at 0000 BBAA. Okay, let's try another example. You want to put somewhere else again, maybe origin 3000. So you want to put something, define constant dot byte, just put BEKM. So is there any problems or not? Let's try to look at that one. No problem. Execute. So if you execute this one and then run at locations 3000, so you can see that it's a 42, 45, 4B and 4D. This BEKM is this number. So where this number comes from? Okay, this is an ASCII code. So if you go and Google the table for ASCII, okay. So if you Google ASCII table, so you can just click any of the ASCII table. ASCII table is just like your keyboard, right? So just take the one that you can see it. So BEKM, all right, BEKM. So you look at the B, the value for B character is this one. This is your keyboard. So capital B is this one, B, and correct hexa values is 42. So it's 42. BE. E is 45, 4B, and 4D. So you can see that this is 42, 45, 4B, and 4D. So when you have this apostrophe, right, you did this one, this, I think this is apostrophe. So you are going to use and take this value as the ASCII value because this is a string of word. So you are going to have this one, but accordingly each of this one is byte size, so it will one by one occupy the area in the memory. So let's try you put this one as W. Let's do what happened. Okay, so just look at the memory at 3000. There's no problems with that, is it? Okay, no problem with that. So what happened now is the system knows. So for word size, this is word size and this is another word size. So it has taken the right locations at the memory, which is still view memory. The location's at 3000, right? 3000. 4245 4B 4D, which is the same one because this is W, this is W. So let's try the long word. Run this one, execute this one, and then you can see that the view again, the memory, and the whole this one is actually a long word. So still it will start to save it at the location 3000 and continuously use the same the next location with the size of only 8-bit per address location. Okay, let's try if I remove only 2 words, which is a word size. Then I'm using define constant.long. So what happened here? So I just run this guy, and you can see that the memory location is different. So it starts here. BE is 4245, and you have nothing at the back. 0000. So there's a difference between the numbers and the alphabet. For example, if you define constant a number, for example like this, define constant dot long, which is a number here. Now you're going to have as a word size number, which means that B is BB DD. So run this one, view the location. You can see that the 44, 42, 45 and the whole long word size is at the back here. Whereas for a value or a number here, so if you define it as long word, which means that the value at the front is the one that having 0000. So this is just like a number, right? So like for example here, 01 is equivalent to 1. It's the same thing because you don't put here 0, it's the same thing. Same goes to the value just now. This is a BBDD. So this is a word size, but I want to declare it in the program as long word. So long word must have another 4 here, which is 0000 BB and DD. So this is the 00 here, which is stored at the front of the numbers. Whereas when you put a value as the words or alphabets, so the system will take the value first and there's nothing at the back. So that is the difference between a number and an alphabet. So that's why in this program, normally if you want to declare a constant and save it to the memory, then you just can simply use this command, define constant to anything. Then you must make sure that you have that origin. When do you want to start it? So if I want to change this one again, as this is the last example. If you want to put it over here at 2200, let's say 220. This is 2020, right? So I run this one. So you can go directly to the memory locations 2020 here. So try 2020. This is the right one? I don't think so. Let me try again. Okay. So you can see that at 2020, this is the value 00 BB AA, because you define it as long word, so there will be 4 more zeros at the front. So if I change it to word and I want to change it this one to maybe 24, So I just run this one. Memory. So at 2020, there's nothing, but the value will start at 24. So this is a 2020, 21, 22, 20. So this is the value BBAA starts here. If you change this one to longword, then it will start occupy 00 first before the BBAA location, the BBA location informations. So you see this one is 000 BBA because you declare it as define constant.long. So if you want to define constant.byte, you cannot simply put like this. It's an error here. So you have to put comma, $sign again, because this is a defined constant as a byte size. So you can simply put anywhere in the locations at the memory the constant where you want to put, except the area you cannot put the value is where do you put your program, because it will erase, your program will erase the value if you purposely put at this location. So do not simply just put your constant to this area location. Okay, that's for the define constant, and you can see that this is an example. Okay, you can see that this is an example that you can look. This is example. You have the names of different constant of 12. So this is the details on the commands that given here. So this is one of the command that quite important when declaring a constant. So thank you very much for watching the video. Thanks.